Hello everyone, my name is Jack and this is Homebrew Heroes, where I share with you all some homebrew content for the game Dungeons & Dragons. Today I'm going to hire a samurai from the Final Fantasy XIV companion book for 5th edition D&D. Created by Reddit user SilentSoren, this is a massive project that has been worked on by redditors and players for over 3 years, resulting in a guidebook filled with races, classes, and spells based on the popular online fantasy game and remade to fit into any campaign setting. Just like I did with the Dancer and Warrior classes, this version of the Samurai will be based on the December 2019 update, while the other ones are based on the previous version. You can find out more details about that in the Warrior video, which will be in the description below. If you're interested in my other videos going over this compendium, such as the aforementioned Warrior, the Red Mage, and the Gunbreaker classes, the links to those can be found in the description below. With that said, let's begin. Just like those that came before it, the Final Fantasy version of the Samurai are noble warriors that live by an ancient code of honor and discipline. They can fuel themselves with energy to unleash strokes that are minimal in number but are maximum in its devastation.
That's it. That's it.
Samurai can become the most loyal of companions and allies, or the deadliest of enemies. They are a staple of medieval and fantasy culture, so it's about time that they add the legendary samurai into Dungeons & Dragons. Oh god damn it!
No more books!
Before we continue on, let's go over the differences between the Final Fantasy Samurai and the Fighter's Samurai subclass. If the text is in yellow, that will indicate that there's a difference between the two. Ready and go! While the official Fighter version does give you some abilities most fitting of the Samurai, like being able to perform some extra attacks and gaining bonus proficiencies and attack roll advantages, it does feel like a mini-me version of the Samurai, and it can't really dive deep into this archetype due to the fighter's limitations. It's still effective though, and in some ways. The Samurai can stand on its own in the world of Eorzea, but can it stand out in the world of D&D? In this very long video, we're about to find out. For the class features, you'll get a D10 for hit dice, which is the same hit dice as the Paladins, Fighters, and the Gunbreaker. You'll get proficiencies in light and medium armor, simple weapons, and martial weapons. I almost threw up there. You won't get any tool proficiencies. The saving throws you're proficient in is in strength and wisdom, and you'll get to obtain 2 skills from a list of 5 skills. At the get-go, you'll gain 2 features at level 1. With Artful Combat, when you wield a versatile weapon, you can land a critical attack roll on a 19 or 20. It's similar to the Warrior's Inner Release feature, which is also similar to the Champion Fighter's superior critical feature. You'll need a versatile weapon for this feature, such as quarterstaffs, battle axes, and the infamous katana, which follows the same stats as the longsword. The second feature is Unarmored Defense, which grants you an AC equal to 10, plus your strength modifier, plus your wisdom modifier. At level 2, you'll gain your Sen, the Samurai's source of power. During combat, whenever you use the attack action, you'll gain 1 charge of Sen. Even if you perform multiple attacks, or if you miss your target with the attacks, you'll still gain 1 charge of Sen. You can gain up to 4 charges at any time, and these charges will disappear after you spend 5 minutes outside of combat. You'll spend your Sen charges in a variety of ways, like your other level 2 feature, called Higenbana. As an action, you can spend 1 charge of Sen to use Higenbana. You'll then make a weapon attack against a creature, and if it hits, they must make a Constitution saving throw. If it fails the DC, which is the lovely equation you see down below, the creature will suffer 1d4 slashing damage at the start of their turn for 1 whole minute. It doesn't do that much damage, but there isn't a saving throw to remove this bleeding effect once a creature gains it, so it's great for whittling someone's health down over time or disrupting a spellcaster's concentration on a spell. Another feature you'll gain at level 2 is your Code of Honor. Whenever you perform a charisma ability check on creatures that have an organized martial background, like soldiers and acolytes, you'll gain advantage on the checks. It's similar to the Fighter Samurai's Elegant Courier feature, which also grants you bonuses while you're socializing. At level 3, you'll get to choose your Samurai archetype, aka your subclass. Your choices are the Iaitsu, the Blade Master, and the Ronin. You'll gain their features at levels 3, 6, 9, and 14. The ability score improvement levels for the Samurai is 4, 8, 12, 16, and 19, which can be used to increase your ability scores. At level 5, you will get the classic extra attack feature. This lets you attack twice whenever you take the attack action. You will get everyone's favorite evasion feature at level 7. Whenever you roll for a dexterity saving throw, you take no damage on a success, and half damage on a fail. At level 9, you'll gain Studied Discipline. Your training with a blade has also trained your mind, granting you 2 skill proficiencies from Intelligence, Wisdom, or Charisma. The next feature is called Forceful Meditation. As an action, you can spend a number of your Sen charges to heal yourself with your hit dice. For example, if you spend 3 charges of Sen, you can use 3 hit dice to heal yourself. It's a nice healing feature to have, but it's better to use this outside of combat to quickly patch yourself up without having to take a short rest, since you'll want to use your precious actions to land some deadly blows. At level 13, you'll gain the Whispers of the Kami. With this, you can gain 2 spells from a selection of 4 spells. You can cast these spells once per long rest. Augury lets you ask God if an upcoming action is a good idea or a bad idea. Detect Evil and Good will let you sense nearby fiends, celestials, and undead. Speak with Dead and Speak with Plants will, well, it's self-explanatory what they do.
I've seen that same spirit mushroom 5 times.
That's not the same mushroom.
I'll kill you.
If it were up to me, I would go for Speak with Dead and Augury, but your choices might differ depending on the campaign you're playing. The next 3 features are short and easy to go through, aka they're my favorite ones. Effective Meditation lets you gain 1 charge of Sen at the start of the next fight if you recover hit points during your last short rest. Artisan of Combat increases your critical hit range from 19 through 20 to 18 through 20, as long as you're using a versatile weapon with your 2 lovely hands. And MIDARE SETSUGEKKA lets you spend 3 charges of Sen as an action to perform 4 attacks against 1 poor creature. The capstone feature is Mieku Shisumi at level 20. Once per long rest, you can spend 1 minute to freely use your Sen charges. That means at any time during that 1 minute, you can use any Sen abilities as if you have 3 active charges of Sen, even if you have no charges when you activate this feature. I asked SilentSoren for more information about this feature, and he said that it takes a bonus action to activate this. That knowledge wasn't in before, so he'll update it at a later date. What? What do you mean update?
What the fuck? What? Why does this keep happening? No, please, get these out of here! No!
The first samurai subclass is the Iaitsu style, and I probably said that incorrectly. This is the traditional samurai swordplay that we all know and love. Quick, deadly strokes that can take down even the largest of foes. The first feature is called NP. As an action, you can spend 1 charge of Sen to unleash a blade of energy at a target. The range of this beam attack is 30 feet, and it will deal the same amount of damage as your normal weapon attack. The level 6 feature is your Body of Steel.
Now that's a katana.
With your new chiseled form, whenever you make a strength, dexterity, or constitution check or skill check that doesn't already use your proficiency bonus, you can add half of your proficiency bonus to that check. In addition, whenever you perform a running long jump, you can increase your jump distance by a number of feet equal to your strength modifier. The distance of your running long jump is equal to your strength score, so if your strength score is 20, you can jump 20 feet. If you add your strength modifier, which in this case would be 5, then your total distance would be 25 feet. You can find out more about long jumps on page 182 in the player's handbook. Next, you'll gain TENKA GOKEN. As an action, you can spend 2 charges of Sen to unleash a flurry of blows against all creatures in a 15-foot cone in front of you. There are many ways to determine the cone zone in D&D, which will likely depend on your dungeon master. It can look like this, or maybe even this. Regardless, the average amount of creatures you can target with this attack would be around 3 to 5 creatures. You can't use the extra attack feature when you use TENKA GOKEN, but you'll have to make a separate attack roll for each creature in the cone zone. So it's kinda like having an extra attack. The final feature is called HISSATSUGEKKA. In Final Fantasy XIV, the HISSATSU skills are deadly abilities, and each subclass is given at least one of them to master. HISSATSUGEKKA lets you use a bonus action to empower a Sen ability that you are using as an action, like TENKA GOKEN or NP. So you would use your action to use a Sen ability, then you would use your bonus action to buff it up. The empowered ability will grant a bonus to its damage roll equal to 2d10 damage. This bonus can be applied to most Sen abilities, except for one, Higenbana, which was the skill that caused targets to bleed over time. With HISSATSUGEKKA, the bleed damage will be doubled, so if it takes 4 damage, it will be doubled to 8 damage. The Isetsu style is the go-to subclass for the Samurai. It comes with the only range attack feature in this entire class, and Body and Steel and Kaiten will boost your damage rolls and skill checks. Nothing else I can say, it's great all around. The second Samurai style is the Blade Master. Unlike the Isetsu style, these kinds of samurai are patient during combat, waiting for their foe to strike first before reacting with the perfect dodge or counterattack. The first feature is the second Hissatsu skill, called HISSATSUGEKKA. If a creature misses you with a melee weapon attack, you can use your reaction to make an attack of opportunity against that creature. To teach them how to properly hit someone, of course. At level 6, you'll gain a Hardened Mind. This will grant you advantage on perception checks when searching for traps and hidden passages. Then you'll gain the Mind's Eye. If a creature makes a melee weapon attack against you, and it looks like it's about to hit you this time, you can use your reaction to spend a number of your Sen charges to increase your AC. 1 charge of Sen will increase your AC by 1. So if you spend the maximum amount of Sen charges that you can have at one time, which is 4, then you can increase your AC by 4, turning that potential hit into a potential miss. The final feature you'll gain is Whirling Blades, which lets you perform 2 reactions per round. Depending on your build, you'll have many reaction options to use twice per round. There's a link down below to a list of all the reactions that you can perform. With Whirling Blades, you can mix up your reactions, like performing Mind's Eye to increase your AC for one attack and using HISSATSUGEKKA to counterattack, or performing an opportunity attack on a fleeing foe, and if you multi-class into a monk, you can use Deflect Missiles to catch an arrow. As you can see, the Blade Master is all about reactions, and the occasional trap hunting on the side. The reaction features are excellent, but they are only effective against melee attacks, not ranged attacks or ranged spell attacks. If you want to fully commit to this reaction lifestyle, then I would recommend taking some feats like Sentinel, Martial Adapt, and Mage Slayer to diversify your reaction portfolio. The final style is that of the Ronin, for samurai that follow their own path and serve no one but themselves. They develop their own combat style, which can range from unique swordplay to fighting dirty.
So what are you gonna do? Fight this guy barehanded?
The first feature is the Ronin's Hissatsu skill, called HISSATSUGEKKA. As an action, you can spend 1 charge of Sen to charge in a straight line towards a creature for up to 30 feet. The charge will stop if an obstacle is in the way, like a wall or a football. Once you reach the targeted creature, you may perform your attack action against them, and do so with advantage. Since this doesn't involve your movement action, you can technically move up to 30 feet and then charge with this feature for an additional 30 feet, which is great for you to use against someone that's talking shit about you 60 feet away. The next feature is your well-traveled soul. Your lonely travels have granted you expertise in a type of terrain of your choice, such as grasslands, deserts, and the coast. When making any kind of ability checks related to your terrain, your proficiency bonus is doubled for the roll. This is similar to the Natural Explorer feature for the Ranger, except that it's just better in every way. Also, you'll be able to cast the Expeditious Retreat spell a number of times equal to your Wisdom modifier. This spell will let you use the dash action as a bonus action for up to 10 minutes, which is great for traveling or running away from the guards. At 9th level, you'll gain a second HISSATSU skill, called HISSATSUGEKKA. As an action, you can spend 1 charge of Sen to perform an attack against a creature, with advantage. After attacking the creature, regardless if it hits or misses, you can move straight backwards without triggering any opportunity attacks. The final Ronin feature is Yukikaze. As a bonus action, you can spend 1 charge of Sen to add half of your Wisdom modifier, rounded up, to your attack and damage rolls for the rest of your turn. So if your Wisdom modifier is 5, you'll get a +3 bonus to your attack and damage rolls. 3 extra damage isn't a game changer, but adding 3 to your attack rolls can really help strike you down some hard to hit opponents. The Ronin is the opposite of the Blade Master, preferring to move across any field with ease to stab somebody else with ease. The oddball feature here is Well-Traveled Soul. Even though it's an improved Ranger feature, it still requires you to be in your chosen environment to be useful, which, depending on your campaign, you may never get to explore or visit. But hey, at least you gain a spell from it. The other 3 features will at least help you hit any enemy within range, giving you the edge over any competition. And with that, that was the Samurai class of Final Fantasy XIV. Let me know in the comments of your thoughts of this class down below. And check out some of my other Final Fantasy class guides, like the Gunbreaker and Warrior classes. Thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to like and subscribe for more homebrew content and for other things that I will definitely mispronounce. Till next time, bye.